Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother and sister, welcome back to Islamic Notes channel. The story of a German hip-hop star converting to Islam. Maik Jahnke was a famous hip-hop star in Germany before he had a serious car accident. The car accident changed his life, and he eventually converted to Islam. Reported from About Islam, Tuesday 12/7/2022. The following is a snippet of Maik Jahnke's story on his journey to becoming a convert in his narrative. I grew up in a normal German family. I went to school, studied a profession, and then worked. Music has always been my passion. As soon as I got my own money, I bought music equipment. I wrote my own songs and made my own music. I slowly worked my way up in the music business. Together with my music partner, we were able to get the first contract, then the second contract. Finally, we scored with one of the biggest record labels in Germany. We played everywhere, including MTV. Life was going well. The income was good. Then one morning, I got into a terrible car accident. After the car accident, nothing was the same. I became very wise. I wondered about this life, the point of this life, the reason for this life. Why am I here? What is this life for? At night, I stepped out on my balcony and looked up at the sky. I looked at the moon. I thought, what is the purpose of all this? What role should I play? I've always believed in God. I've never been an atheist, but I've never had much contact with religion officially. During the time after my accident, my writing changed. The subject of my writing was God. I wrote about Him, I wrote to Him, and I was seeking Him. In my writing, I found comfort. But the question remained, what is the whole purpose of life? Then one night, I had a strange but wonderful dream. I was in a different time, a time when there were no cars or planes. I was standing in the desert outside the city walls. I could see camels in a caravan heading towards the city, and next to me was a handsome man with black hair and a beard. He had a stick in his hand. He was using it to write something in the sand. Then he looked at me. He asked if I understood what he wrote. I said no. Then I got up. This dream shook me, and I cried for 2 hours. Then I told this dream to different people, and some of my friends interpreted this dream as a dream about Islam. Seeing me in a state of searching and questioning my existence, they told me to follow the dream, and that is what I did. I started reading about Islam. Then I went to the city of Aachen, where we have a big Islamic center. Then I said the 2 sentences of the Shahada. After I said the Shahada, I started to learn what it means to be a Muslim. I learned to pray 5 times a day. I started to read the Qur'an. I found answers to my questions about my existence and the true purpose of this life. I found peace and contentment in my worship of God. I found a new community, and I definitely became a better person, becoming more tolerant. Before becoming a Muslim, I didn't really like foreigners, but learning about the diversity of the Muslim community, I let go of any racism that was still inside me. I left my old life in show business, visiting the Grand Mosque. Going for Hajj and Umrah was an amazing experience for me. Seeing the beautiful diversity of so many people worshiping Allah was amazing. Reflecting on the history of our human community from Prophet Adam, Prophet Abraham, the father of the world's 3 major religions, and our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Truly humbling. For those who are still searching, look up at the sky. Look at this amazing creation. Look at how perfectly everything is made. Listen to your heart, and you will find God. You will find Islam. You will find purpose in this life, and you will find the peace you need and the contentment you seek. Inshallah. Maik Jahnke converts to Islam after dreaming of handsome man. Maik Jahnke, a German-born man, is not only an atheist, he is also a famous musician. He has created many songs that have made him a hip-hop star in Germany. However, Allah has another way for His beloved servant. Evidently, Maik Jahnke is a lucky person who received guidance to know Islam. As quoted from Republica, Saturday, 1306, he said, after experiencing a very tragic car accident, he experienced many changes, not only becoming a wise person, but asking himself the meaning of life. Why am I here? What is this life for? Asked Maik. Until one night, Maik Jahnke woke up from his strange and extraordinary dream. He said that in the dream he was in a different place where there were no cars and airplanes. At that time, he was standing in the desert outside the city walls. There were camels in a caravan walking towards the city, and next to him, there was a handsome and bearded man. He had a stick in his hand and was writing something in the sand. Then he looked at me, whether I could read the writing. I said no. Then I woke up, the dream shook me, and I cried for 2 hours, said Maik Jahnke. Then he asked one of his friends to interpret it. According to him, the dream was related to Islam and advised Maik Jahnke to try following his dream. After that, Maik Jahnke began to study Islamic teachings in the city of Aachen, the largest Islamic city in Germany, and he pronounced the 2 sentences of the Shahada. Becoming a Muslim took time, but I found answers. Brother and sister, welcome back to Islamic and the true purpose of this life. Maik Jahnke. The story of a German hip-hop star. I also found peace and faith in the God I worship. Maik Jahnke was a famous hip-hop star in Germany. He found before he had a serious car accident to be a good Muslim. The car accident changed his life, and he eventually converted to Islam. He felt an incredible energy reported from about Islam that he had never felt before. Tuesday 12/7/2022. He saw such beautiful diversity. The following is a snippet of Maik Jahnke's story. German journey to becoming a musician converts to Islam after dream. I grew up in a normal German family. I went to school, to his servants, studied a profession, and then worked. One of them is guidance. Music has always been my passion. This is what happened. As soon as I got my own money, I bought music Maik Jahnke. I wrote my own songs to convert to Islam and become a convert. I slowly worked my way up in the music business. So what dream together with my music have that we were able to get the first contract to Islam, then the second contract? The story begins finally one night with where he wakes up from a dream that he thinks is strange. We played everywhere, including in his dream. He is in a different life was going well, where there are no cars or airplanes. Then one morning, I was standing in the desert outside the city walls. After the car accident, I could see camels in a caravan walking toward the city. I became very wise, and next to me was a handsome man with black hair and a beard. He had a reason for this life. He was using it to write something in the sand. What is this life for? Maik was quoted as saying, at night I stepped out on my balcony Sunday and looked up at the sky. 2020. I looked at the moon. The man continued, Maik. I thought, then looked at him. What is the purpose of all this? The man then asked Maik, whether Maik understood what he wrote. I've always believed in God. No. I've never been an atheist. But I've never had much contact with religion for 2 hours, Maik recalled. During the time after my accident, having that strange dream, Maik then told his writing to a friend. I wrote about him. Then after hearing Maik's dream, to him, his friend had an interpretation that in my writing might be related to Islam. But the question remained, on his friend's advice, what is the whole purpose of life? To try to find out about Islam. Then one night, that's when Maik started to learn and read about Islam. I was in a different time, went to the city of time when there were no cars, the largest Islamic city in Germany. I was standing in the desert outside, and I read my Shahada. Maik said. I could see camels after converting heading towards the city. Maik began to learn, and next to me was a handsome man with black hair. Maik also began to learn to pray. He had a stick in his hand, read the Quran. He was using it to write becoming a Muslim took time. Then he looked at me. I found answers. He asked if I understood my existence. I said no. Purpose of this. Then I got up. Said this dream shook me. I also found peace and confidence in the God I worship. He continued. Maik never thought of becoming an atheist. Maik always believed in the existence of God. Then I told this dream to different people, that so far, and some of my friends interpreted this dream really as a dream about Islam. Before he finally found a state of searching and questioning my existence, they told me to follow the dream, and that is what I did. I started reading about Islam. Then I went to the city of Aachen, where we have a big Islamic center. Then I said the 2 sentences of the Shahada. After I said the Shahada, I started to learn what it means to be a Muslim. I learned to pray 5 times a day. I started to read the Quran. I found answers to my questions about my existence and the true purpose of this life. I found peace and contentment in my worship of God. I found a new community